Today, we are diving into the fascinating story of Nauru. Nauru once was the wealthiest nation per capita in the world. However, despite its incredible riches, Nauru now finds itself on the verge of bankruptcy. Let's discuss the reason behind its drastic downfall and explore the mistake that led to Nauru's financial crisis. Before we move forward, let's talk about a little bit of history and geography of Nauru. Geographically, Nauru is the world's third smallest country, covering just 21 square kilometers. Situated in the Central Pacific Ocean, northeast of Australia, it forms part of Micronesian region. With the introduction of European colonial powers, Nauru's history changed. It was ruled by Germans in the late 1800s, before Australia, New Zealand, and the United Kingdom took it as mandates of the League of Nations. Japanese soldiers controlled Nauru during World War II. Following the war, it was designated as UN Trust Territory before becoming an independent country in 1968. So, how Nauru became the wealthiest? Nauru wasn't a very big country, but it has something very special hidden beneath its surface: phosphate. You might have heard of phosphate. It's a very valuable mineral used in making fertilizers. After World War I, mining operations on Nauru grew faster. Under the control of British Phosphate Commission, BPC, a joint venture of Australia, joint venture of New Zealand, the phosphate was shipped abroad, significantly raising the riches of these colonial powers and strengthening Nauru's economy. During the early years of phosphate mining in Nauru, the British Phosphate Commission played an important role in attracting investors and firms. Later, as the sector grew, different foreign firms and investors became interested in Nauru's phosphate reserve because of their economic significance. These included Australian and British enterprises specializing in fertilizer production and mining operations. Throughout much of the 20th century, Nauru experienced an economical boom fueled by phosphate mining. The royalties and revenue generated from the exports of phosphate made Nauru one of the wealthiest nations per capita in the world. With its newfound wealth, Nauru invested in various financial ventures and assets worldwide, trying to diversify its portfolio. This includes purchasing properties, stocks, and establishing trust funds to secure its wealth for future generations. Phosphate exports earning were a major factor in Nauru's rise to become one of the richest countries in the world. Despite its prosperity, Nauru's economy was not a long-term sustainable because of its excessive reliance on phosphate mining and inadequate efforts at diversification. Now let's talk about the drastic downfall and cause of bankruptcy and how Nauru is doing today. So first is overall reliance of phosphate. Phosphate mining was the main source of income for Nauru. It had a significant impact on its economy. Its economy blew because of phosphate mining. The nation over-relied on its limited resource and neglected to diversify its economy. Over the time, once phosphate supplies were exhausted, Nauru's economy fell tremendously. Lack of diversification. Nauru has not ventured into other economic sector or businesses, preferring to concentrate on phosphate mining. Due to its lack of diversification, the nation was susceptible to changes in the demand of its products and the price of commodities globally. Their other ventures also failed miserably. Their investments in other assets also failed. Environmental degradation. Phosphate mining produced money, but it was short-lived. And the officials and the authorities knew about this, but they did nothing. Large-scale environmental damage from mining operations resulted in ecological deterioration and health problems for the local populace. Nauru was additionally susceptible to economic downturns due to poor management of the money created and its exclusive reliance on phosphate exports. Mismanagement and corruption. Numerous global lists of tax havens and places with lax anti-money laundering laws have included Nauru. A number of well-known incidents such as inquiries conducted by the US Senate Parliament Subcommittee on Investigation have shown Nauru to have assisted in schemes to launder money and resist taxes. Asylum seekers in Nauru institution have been detained indefinitely. There have been many inadequate healthcare, physical and psychological torture and other human rights violations. According to several reports for human rights organizations, including Amnesty International and the UN, inadequate financial management and sustainable development techniques are prevalent in Nauru, as reported by a number of international institutions, including the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. Fifth is excessive spending and debt accumulation. Nauru engaged in expensive imports and large-scale project spending during its economic period. Since its borrowing was frequent, used to fund this spending, the nation struggled to pay back the unmanageable amount of debt they have accumulated. Today, Nauru faces significant challenges, including environmental degradation, economic diversification, conservation and sustainable development. The once rich phosphate deposits have been largely depleted, and the lands are not fit for agriculture, so they can't even grow any food. The country grapple with the legacy of environmental damages caused by the mining operation. In conclusion, we can learn a lot from Nauru's bankruptcy. We know now that it's dangerous to depend too heavily on one industry, such as phosphate mining. It's critical to have multiple sources of income. For example, take Norway. Norway once found oil beneath its surface, and they invested that money. They diversified their income. They invested in different projects, and now they are reaping the rewards. It's critical to have multiple streams of income to consider environmental sustainability in doing so. Honest and capable leadership are also essential in government. Nauru can overcome its difficulties if it makes better decisions. Nauru could have a better future by diversifying its economy, practicing environmental responsibilities, and improving its governance. Should take Nauru's tragedy as a stimulus to work toward more equitable and stable global community. I hope you liked the video. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next one.